I want to do a video about the whole George Lopez situation. I'll leave a link in the description box so you guys can see the video for yourselves and read up on it. But apparently he was at a show somewhere, and he made a racist anti-black joke. The joke was, I think he said, there's two rules for a Latino family. Number one, don't marry a black person, and number two, don't park in front of my house. There was a black woman in the front row of the audience, I believe, and she had self respect. She had enough self respect not to let a Mexican talk shit about black people and spew his anti-blackness, and her just laugh, sit there and take it. So she got offended. I don't know if she got up or whatever, but I do know that she showed some kind of disdain for his anti-blackness, and he got mad and he attacked her, and he was like, if you can't take a joke, get the fuck out. And then he said that several other times, and then eventually he just told her to get the fuck out. So George Lopez, basically George Lopez, from what I got from your actions, you racially terrorized this woman. You then call her all kinds of bitches, and you used your masculine energy to intimidate her and berate her. And then you kicked her out of a show that she paid for with her money. And this is what I'm talking about. Number one, my biggest issue with the whole situation is that George Lopez, you're not being honest. That was not a joke. You're telling the truth. We all know that Mexicans in particular, out of the whole Hispanic community, Mexicans in particular have a serious issue with black people, which is so ironic because Mexican people in particular, they take so much from black culture. They use our lingo, they listen to our music. A lot of them dress like us, but these same Mexicans will look down their nose on a Mexican who is with a black person or is dating a black person. They will look down their nose on black people in general. They have such anti-blackness. I was talking to one of my good friends, two of them actually. I'm friends with a guy and a girl, and they're both from the LA area, and they're both black and Mexican, and they both have stories of them being around their Mexican family, and when they're watching boxing or whether at a cookout, something anti-black comes up to call people mayates, or they're being racist and ignorant, and they're just like, hey, I'm half black, you can't do that. And the guy Mexican who's half black and half Mexican, he actually said, because he does look Mexican, so when he's around other Mexicans, they do talk about black people, and he has to remind them like, hey, I'm half black, and they're like, oh shit, like, we can't tell that you're half black. So it's rampant, particularly in the West Coast. I don't know what's going on with West Coast Mexicans, but they have a particular disdain for black people, and I don't understand why, because black people aren't the ones that want you back in Mexico. We're not the ones trying to build that wall, and we're not the ones that are holding you down systematically so that you don't reach any kind of higher place and higher footing in this country. We're not the ones keeping you poor and keeping you held down. You have the wrong motherfucking race for that. But you guys continuously kiss white people's ass, and you try to claim whiteness. Like, if you look up El Paso's demographics, El Paso is like 90% Mexican, but it's 90% white, because a lot of Mexicans identify with whiteness and consider themselves white, and a lot of them are white because Mexican is not a race, Hispanic is not a race, so there's a lot of white Hispanics. That's what you guys don't understand. And like I said, the thing that's so funny about the situation is like that George Lopez, this is not a joke. These are not jokes that you're telling. You're telling the truth. Mexican people do not like when their own mixed with black people in particular. Like you can mix with a white person, an Asian, any other race but black. Mexicans they get so mad. And the only explanation that I can think of is racism. white supremacy. The darker you are, the worse you get, and they don't want to mix with our superior genetics because they feel like, we will take over the whole child and the child will look black, and they know that black people are seen as inferior in this country, so they don't want nothing to do with us in that manner. This is just my opinion on the situation. So you guys tell me what you guys think. I'm tired of the and let me just say, there are black people on Twitter as we speak defending George Lopez, saying George Lopez has been making racist, anti-black jokes forever. He's not racist. What sense does that make? I'm so sick of black people throwing other black people under the bus for non-black people. I would never do that. Even if I agreed with that non-black person, I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to throw my own under the bus for a person outside of the community. I just won't.